Have you ever lived this? The exam hasn't even started, and you're already terrified you'll fail. A tiny slip-up at work, and you toss and turn all night, worried your boss won't approve of you. You face a simple choice, and you're torn, agonizing over it for ages. If you fall into these emotions often, it means you're fighting an invisible war inside your brain. In psychology, this has a name. It's called mental internal friction. Let me tell you about an award-winning Italian short film, simply called Saturday. In it, there's a man who lives alone. Saturday morning he wakes up and starts planning. Wash the dishes, do laundry, pay bills, take out the trash, then go have some fun at night. But before he actually starts, he rehearses the whole thing in his head, imagining every possible hassle. He keeps turning over the perfect approach in his mind. And so, huge amounts of emotion drain away, the sun slowly sets. A task that takes just 2 hours to do, he spent 8 hours resisting and agonizing over in his head. In the end, he did nothing, yet he was already wiped out. This is top-tier logic. I'm Mojo. We see through the logic of money, because wealth is the only chip, to real freedom in this brutal world. The man in Saturday is the classic friction-type personality. You have to understand, a person's energy is extremely limited. If you only have 100% of energy, but spend 80% on internal friction, then your real drive to act is naturally almost gone. Today, I'll break down 5 core principles for stopping internal friction and boosting your drive to act. First point, the rich know how to protect their core energy. The French thinker Pascal had a famous line, "Man is a thinking reed." Humans created civilization because we can think. But when that thinking spirals out of control into overthinking, it becomes a disaster. In real life, what truly drains you is usually not the work itself, but that unseen mental friction. The poor, before doing anything, have 2 little figures fighting inside. They replay someone's glance, second-guess an offhand remark, wasting huge time on tangles, anxiety. But high performers are all anti-friction by nature. They know deeply, energy is the nuclear fuel for creating wealth. As the saying goes, a marching general doesn't chase rabbits. Smart people focus their time and energy intensely on what matters most, never letting meaningless tangles drag their lives down. So if friction is this terrifying, second point, the answer is one word: action. When the poor face an opportunity or a task, all they see are obstacles. They choose out of fear, their heads filled with "what if I fail? This will never work." To avoid failure, they prepare forever, hunting for a flawless plan, and the result is they never get started. But the rich think the exact opposite. They focus on the opportunity. Let me show you a stunning example. A soldier who served in the Afghan war, in an interview, was asked his secret to staying alive on the battlefield. His answer was this: "My method is simple. Shoot first, then aim." That line reveals the highest wisdom of business and life. No one can predict the future. If you hesitate before an opportunity, waiting for everything to be perfect, you'll only watch wealth pass you by. Real masters, the moment they see an opportunity, take action first, that is, shoot first, then keep correcting and aiming through feedback as they execute. Think it through, then act immediately. That's the most effective way to cut energy loss. Third point, what the rich grind on is their own circle of influence. The root of many people's anxiety is that they're looking in the wrong place. Management guru Stephen Covey, in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, introduced 2 crucial concepts: the circle of concern and the circle of influence. The circle of concern is the things we care about but can't directly control, like the economy, the weather, the news, or others' opinions of you. The circle of influence is the things you can actually change through your own effort, like sharpening your skills, improving your work. The poor fix their eyes on the circle of concern, complaining daily about the environment, about an unappreciative boss, wasting huge time on things they can't control, sinking into deep helplessness. But proactive people focus on the circle of influence. If you want a promotion and a raise, instead of complaining about your boss, bury yourself in results, build that irreplaceable skill, and let results sway his decision. To cut friction, you must learn to shrink your circle of concern and expand your circle of influence. Fourth point, the rich use tiny goals to kick the gears of action into motion. Even knowing they should act, many people still feel fear facing a hard task, because that huge task looks like a mountain they can't climb. To avoid pain, the brain instinctively resists and stalls. The rich know this human weakness, so they master the breakdown rule, splitting one giant goal into small staged tasks. Don't start out aiming to finish a 100,000-word book. Tell yourself, today I'll just write 500. Don't aim to lose 10 kilos in one go. Set today's goal as a 15-minute jog downstairs. Through breaking it down, you drastically lower the barrier to act, and each small win gives your brain positive feedback, creating greater drive, forming a positive cycle. Remember, every extra minute you spend on friction is one less minute solving the problem. Use tiny actions to cut through that whirlpool of tangles. Final fifth point, the deepest psychological root. The rich know how to make peace with their present self. Why are we always so exhausted? Most of the time, it's because we think too much about an uncontrollable future while demanding too much of ourselves. In Japan, there's a psychiatrist who hadn't retired at 90, Grandma Tsuneko Nakamura. With a lifetime of wisdom, she wrote a small book called Life is Worth Living. In her youth, she dreamed of a happy family, but married an alcoholic. She could only work a heavy job, raise her children alone, and face endless housework. But Grandma Tsuneko didn't break down. She said, "Worrying about the future helps nothing, because no one can predict what's coming." She chose to eat when it's time to eat, sleep when it's time to sleep, treating the present life well, carrying no heavy obsessions. In truth, a person's biggest friction is not letting themselves off the hook. High sensitivity, low self-esteem, and that perfectionist streak keep many people in constant self-restraint. An offhand remark can send them second-guessing for ages, relentlessly at war with themselves. The rich know, to stop friction, you must first learn to accept yourself and tear off that perfect persona label. When you let go of the panic about the future, pull your focus back to what matters now, and act. Step by step, you'll be amazed to find those worries quietly vanished long ago. Seeing this, take a quiet moment and ask yourself, how long since you slept well, since you acted on something you purely love? Are you also trapped in that cage called overthinking, letting anxiety slowly drain your vitality? Remember, this world will never cut you a break, just because you worry and agonize. Starting today, learn to let yourself off, clear out that useless inner baggage, shrink your circle of concern over the outside world, and pull your focus back onto yourself. Stop waiting for the so-called perfect timing, because the perfect timing will never come. Life's most expensive cost was never money. It's the mental friction you burn in hesitation. Shoot first, then aim. Action is the ultimate cure for all anxiety. When you truly learn to cut friction and embrace life with decisive action, you'll be deeply grateful to the you of today who chose to stop overthinking and bravely take the first step. If this episode moved you, please subscribe to Top Tier Logic, hit like, and ring the bell. Next time, we keep uncovering the logic behind growth and wealth. I'm Mojo. See you in the next one.